Hello and welcome to a surprise live stream, Free2Play Tuesday. Getting ready for Winterfest. Quinn Malkin's here. Thanks for tuning in. We're enjoying some amazing DJ work. The Scratch Bastard out of Toronto, Canada. He has no idea, but I really liked his barbecue, and now we're enjoying some Breaks Boogie Disco vinyl mix from about a month ago. So thanks, SB. Looking forward to Saturday's Nova Scotia.
45.
And I'm just going to let this music play. I'm going to cut this mic down. I'm going to get on with the traversing of what we're talking about here. Capturing that screen image. Removing that slideshow.
Man, Stream Raiders crew, I just got to say, thank you so much for coming through today and supporting us.
Give us a shout out.
This is the highlight of
We're going to be restarting the music here to eliminate any cross traffic from downloading and streaming both directions.
Good night, Slowbridge. Thanks for joining us. We got a hype
Getting ready for the Winterfest.
I'm gonna stick on for a
If
bit,
you're unaware,
okay, I'm gonna stick on for a second.
you want to keep up with your pets, you want to summon some eggs, you want to save all your resources, and enjoy the show. We'll be cutting the tweet stream down. Cool. Now we're just to little old us. But we've got to turn those off. Stay on the page because it's still downloading that. That's still downloading. So let's get some background music happening. Go with a little DJ Shanti Sena, since we're positive that it is ad-free. So as I mentioned before, this is our very first Free2Play Tuesday live stream going out to our YouTube channel. We'll be sure to repost it on Facebook so you can check out all of the information. Personally, I find you can learn a lot from watching another person do their normal, basic, boring dailies. So I'm just going through my teams, keeping everybody up to speed. If you're not aware, can't say we created it, but we're probably the first to promote the idea of being your own solo guild master. What I mean by solo guild master is, as you can see in this guild, every single hero, 10 out of 30 are me. That's my Facebook. And over here, you can see that I'm working on crushing out this. I wanted to get more eggs. To get more eggs, you have to do campaigns. So the eggs are going to cost you a portal charge, but we get 1 free a day up to 3. And I imagine once the excitement of the Winterfest dies down, the 2nd and 3rd day will be a lot of grinding up in the Adventureland. And here you can see that as a solo guild master, I control everything about the adventure, which makes it a huge turn of the game, really. I also, as you can tell, always, I play more than one team, because part of the game is sitting, watching, and waiting. And I figure while one screen is doing its auto nonsense, and of course I can skip this, but at the same point, it's just as easy to do these other tasks while that's playing in the background. But here you can see I took one level 66 player to adventure number 1, clear out all the bad guys, and then when I'm playing one of my lower level practice teams at level 40 to 45, they'll be able to come in, knock out one enemy, and grab all 4 chests. Both teams get eggs. Both teams get whatever bonuses arise from that. So here I'll invite player. Again, this is another guild, all me. Well, there's a new one. This girl's new, her person. We allowed her to stay. But yeah, let's do that. Invite her. Let her take that one thing. See if she figures it out. And we won't end the adventure. Another trick, if you're not a solo guild master, but you have good friends in your guild, preferably a free-to-play guild, you can mob those in a pseudo-raid format. And what I mean by that is this. Take 3 of your team, go do an adventure, invite more than those 3 people. When 2 of those teams leave the adventure, new teams can join the adventure. And I've used that and sent 2 high powers to beat the level, and then send all my twerps in one at a time to collect 4 chests, which also spends the portal charge, which gets you the egg. And the more eggs you get, by the time Winterfest happens, the happier we're all going to be. Because the more eggs and the more bonuses that we're able to accomplish, the higher level our Christmas tree for our guild will be. And that's when everybody gets to work together. We get to give gifts. And if you are fortunate enough to be in your own solo guild, virtually everything you do is for you. Let's see if I can find this person. Nope. Nope. I was going to message that. I learned yesterday it's a student. They're using a school computer, which weirdly enough allows them to play Hero Wars, but does not allow them to go to fandom where they can learn about the Winterfest event. But always try to be helpful. It generally pays off in the long run. And got an adventure there, got this going. Okay, we're gonna do towers. And you'll see when you're on point and you've listened to the advice I've given as far as avoiding empty or top heavy heroes, and to briefly go over that. An empty hero is like, in this case, well, that's not 100% true. Let's look at Helios. Not a single skill leveled up. Only the hero level, and the hero level can obviously go higher. I like to reserve these for when I get a new hero. This week we're going to get a new hero, and if it's as good as we expect, and more importantly, it's possibly going to save people like me who, my original team, I kind of fell in love with Ginger and I thought she was the shit. Then I started realizing that lots of other players play differently. It took me 3 to 6 months before I understood that there was a difference in your lineup, your team and your line. And everybody mixes it up, it seems. But just a brief, your team is your team. It's all of your heroes. Ooh, look at that. That's a bonus. Been working on that. The other aspect of your team, until you get to level 65 or 68, this final glyph does not unlock. You need to get to Violet +2 on your heroes before these unlock. Now, back to the line. If you look in the Grand Arena, you can see there are 3 lines of defenders. And a defending line is different than an attacking line, because in the arena and grand arena, we all are aware you have the ability to change out your attackers in order to counter your defenders, the defenders in the battle. And I think it's also important to acknowledge that when you are a player versus player, when your goal is to beat other teams, most of your line is intended to finish the battle in 10 to 15 seconds max. I think they call it a blender team. But here we can see that I'm knocking on Kraken's cave. And originally when I was playing this, I made, like I said, tons of mistakes. I didn't want Martha because she looked like an old bag, and I didn't see the benefit when I realized that Martha's predominant benefit is her first skill, which, as you can see at level 67, increases all allies' speed by 187% for 6 seconds. That is a huge burst in speed. The other thing that most player versus players will not appreciate is the power and importance. Oh, bonus. Can't make that. We'll get her there. Back to the empty. As you can see, these heroes are not empty or top heavy. Empty hero, level, no skills. Top heavy, level, skills, no glyphs, no gifts, no artifacts, no skins, no patronage. Here, I'm not even sure who's got the patronage. I intentionally, and it's a challenge, but I'm working through it. As you can see on this team, Galahad is undoubtedly the front and foremost hero. Also, I'm not going to award this hero this item because a lot of the items, as you can see, Martha needs it. But the goal at level 65 is to get all of your heroes, 65 to 68, to Violet +2 and stay there until you get all of their other modifiers to half level. Now here you can see I can move 7 on this, but I'm also saving up my skin stones in the hopes of getting him a mechanical skin is probably what I'll choose. Again, he'll need to get to level 68 before he can open up those glyphs, but I've found that right before an event, I do nothing in the campaign, if at all possible. I do have one team that I'm working through the campaign in order to get some emeralds, because that team is just shy of the 1,500 emeralds needed to get this third bonus. And during the winterfest, that's when you want to turn those in. Also, if you're lucky, this team, of course, is an older team. So I did this probably, I don't know if it was the summer fest or the Halloween fest, but I had saved all of these campaign treasures, which each one I think has 10 soul stones, which obviously add up, because when you got 3 per screen, 10 of those is 30. So that's 300 soul stones, I think. I don't know. I'm not great at math, especially when it comes to decimals. But my point being is that this team has different lineups that I can utilize. And you can also see that Astaroth is not completely ignored. Some other teams, this one possibly, as you can see, I intentionally chose Astaroth as the lead. Therefore, I could compare this lineup, which is identical minus the tank, with other lineups. Here you can also see this team has yet to summon Martha, it appears. And I've got a Thea, I've got a Maya, so I'm not horrible with healing. Maya, I feel, is a better magic attack with her poison than she is with healing. Granted, she works really well in campaigns versus which is player versus enemy, because it takes a while for her, once she summons this ability, Queen of Flowers, it regenerates per second, and I'm guessing it's the standard up to 9 seconds. Here you can also see that the magic does, the poison does damage, the poison deals damage, and the poison deals damage. Only one heals, and the total amount you can see health regeneration per second 917 is the next level up. 907. Still almost 1,000 health points per hero per second is a pretty good ratio. Especially, again, this is a hero that is appreciated by player versus enemy more than player versus player. I'm sure player versus player teams utilized her, but when I found certain heroes, predominantly Astrid and Lucas, in a campaign, they, I don't want to do that. Here you can see I'm short 2 stars here, 2 stars here, 3 stars there, and then this one before I get to the 45. My intention is once we start getting boosts for energy, I'll open this team, I'll burn through these, I'll have leveled up my heroes hopefully. But still, back to my previous distraction. The first time I went through this chapter, I was probably level 80. I was trying to push through with Thea, and I can't remember exactly, but as soon as I got Martha, tides turned, and not only was the Kraken easy, I pretty much walked through the next couple chapters unscathed. I think I made it to over here before I had to upgrade again from level 80. Again, that's because these are solid heroes that are not empty. They're not hollow. They're half full. And here you can see I'm working on Astaroth to get half full, but hopefully you can see here 20 all the way around on his glyphs, 14 out of 15 on his gifts. These should be at 50. I have a hard time with artifacts. You only get 5, whatever those things are called, trips in the airship to gather those items. And in total, although they are sliding scale, you're lucky if one day gives 5 heroes, because you get 5 things, right? So if one day you get 5 of these, and you put each one of these towards a different hero in your team, which makes up your first line, usually it would be considered your attack line for your campaign, for your tower, and for your dungeon. Now I bring it up and I stress it to all free-to-play players. These teams are different, and these lines are different than the people that are playing to beat other players. They only have to last 15-20 seconds at max. When you're playing a campaign, you have 3 rounds. When you're playing a tower, you have 50 floors in which your heroes' energy and health carry over to the next floor. In the dungeon, it's the same, but for the Titans. Therefore, you level up your Titans to get more sparks of elements, or sparks for gifts of elements, which boosts your heroes individually. Then, as you can see in the Grand Arena, I have 3 lines in 10 to 5, and this is a horrible, I have no idea why that's like that, but that's not the way it should be. We're going to remove all of these people, and it looks like I just filled everything up with my lowest level and didn't even place some. So when it comes to Grand Arena teams, if I were to get my first line, which I keep track with the levels, level 67 obviously, and then I'm going to create another team with twins and a tank and that level pet, and I need a healer. Celeste is in there. Oh, I need a tank. I thought I did one. And then my third line, what are we going to do? Because we kind of don't care. And again, this is just preface. Oh, fish. The next big tank. Healer, copycatter. The idea of this line is maybe, and I don't care, but if Faceless duplicates any of these heroes, 3 of them will be healing, 1 of them will be an attack. Again, this is a preface because I'm not done. What you can have happen, because this is setting up your defenders. The opponent sees this, and I do this all the time. Normally, this first one is my dump squad. So if I go here and I take all of these out, go like that, and then I click everything that's got a 3. That's my dump squad. And I put that first so nobody can skip through it. Then I have my second line. Then I'll put my first line and my final line. Now, if they beat the first 2, they will never get to the final line, right? So, what I do now is I remove, let's remove these 2. Let's put Martha and Galahad there. And now what I'm doing is I'm swapping up the lines. So, the strength is more balanced. Does that make sense? 94 there, but way more powerful. Oh, wait. I want this. I want that. Oop, nope. I want that. I want that. And here, we'll do that. Now, this team has been kind of slacking. Normally, at this level of the game, I will have had leveled up 3 pets, but because we got a new pet, and all I was worried about was getting Oliver to Violet, then I realized you can't get Oliver to Violet until you get leveled up to a point where you can access the stones, the gemstones required in the higher adventures. So I basically reserved all of those resources for the time when I make a decision based on the line. And I've posted some pages on the Facebook page concerning this. As far as creating a line where each hero has a pet patron as well as a pet. At the time I came up with this, we only had 5 or 6 pets. Now we have 7. Point is, if they're available and they can affect the fight by pet patronage, that adds to your team's overall strength. And again, this is Free2Play Tuesday live stream on the YouTube. I'm paying absolutely 0 attention. I don't even know if it's still streaming. I actually don't see the streaming page. So does that mean I accidentally closed it and I'm not streaming anymore? I don't know. I'll have to open that up. Let's see. Let's go here and then do close tab. Probably have YouTube Studio. Well, it looks like it's still streaming even though I wasn't on the page. Nonetheless, not expecting much. Just wanted to give a little shout out and to start a new live stream, Free2Play Tuesday. Only because some people can't figure out how to stay in their lane. And the biggest problem I have with this game and the community is there only seems to be players that are pay to play, and therefore all their advice is for those people paying to play, as well as player versus player. They're all about guild wars and ego, and it's stupid. And if you don't understand the law of diminishing returns, you can't comprehend that the people in the gold leagues are pay to play. Bottom line, you can't get up there and stay there without it, because all it takes is a new group of people with more money than brains to spend their way up to that level of power by purchasing emeralds and skin stones and soul stones, etc. Therefore, for free-to-play players, I like to look at it this way. Qualifying league is like the silver league, because everybody there are beginners. The bronze league in the guild wars, that I consider to be the gold league, because I think a free-to-play team can beat everybody in a bronze guild league. Once you get to the silver league, you're pretty much in the mix-up of free-to-play and pay-to-play teams or guilds, which is a collection of teams, correct? And each team has multiple lines, attack lines, defense lines, PvP lines, PvE lines. They are all different. And therefore, the heroes you want to level up are different depending upon your capacity. And why do I now see that this is a test 3, no cam, surprise live stream, privacy is unlisted? I don't like that. I want it to be public. I'm not promoting it, but why not? Sorry, I'm modifying the live stream so that it's appropriate. Desktop audio is not bad. Microphone seems to be good. Back to the grind. Another important free-to-play tip: every day find a twerp hero. As you can see, I've got all of my heroes to green level, the ones that are in my predominant top 2 or 3 lines. My third line is almost always empty, top heavy heroes, because they work in the guild as a distraction as far as Grand Arena. Not guild, sorry, that was I misspoke. But you need to do these every day. And once you have your team properly leveled, you should be able to do 4 of these at a time. So in essence, I will start the game of the team. I will do Outland, I will do Airship, I will start 4. I'll hit my arena once, I'll collect what Grand Arena. If there's a red dot there after you hit the arena, that means there's over 500 coins available. Then I'll do my tower. As I'm doing the tower, as you can see, both of these, I can skip through those, and that'll get me to 25. That's going to take approximately 10 minutes. Interestingly enough, by the time I finish that, I'll get my gifts, I'll get my chest, I'll make my purchases. I buy everything, always, whenever I can, until a certain point, which is after level 80. Because when new heroes join the game, when you summon a new hero, you will burn through those items and those experience potions faster than you can say Wiener Schnitzel. I collect all of my mail because all of my bonuses and my friendship stuff will be there. And then I will come to the airship. The last 10-minute one has been gone, hopefully, right? And then I'll click the final one for 15 minutes, log out, go to the next one, and start again. Also, a good tip: send yourself, and I've already done this, but as soon as I get my gifts from the official page, you click here, you select all, you copy, you then go down to your chat, you send it to your guild chat. All of your guild members can click on that link, avoid having to go to the official page, and it also helps keep all of the rewards in one location, especially on Facebook, as for Facebook, you are required to maintain top fan status to get a top fan gift, whereas when you're playing web version, that just happens on the Discord, and involvement or promotion of their cause is not required. Also, when it comes to Guild Wars, Discord enables you to chat in a separate window that doesn't reload when dealing with the campaign, dealing with adventures, and more importantly, Guild Wars, being able to communicate with your other guild members if you're not your own solo guild master. Again, if you're the only guild master and you're all the players, you don't need communication, it's just your choice. Therefore, you can attack with one, log out, grab a twerp, finish him off because he's almost done, hit another little twerp with your twerp, log out, log back in with your higher level team, and finish the job on the next one. That's more of a challenge in a guild with multiple people from different parts of the world, especially. One of my first guilds, we went from bronze to silver. It was about 30% pay to play, 30% free to play, and the other 30% or whatever the number works out to be, 40%, didn't know the difference. Of course, when you're in a guild and you keep getting all of these 1/10 trinkets, it does add up, and it's probably a clever way to free to play because you utilize the efforts of other people, assuming you're not concerned with the attachment that those gifts came from a pay-to-play player. On my potion, I told you I buy all of these. Those potions will add up. Look at your inventories. Here I've saved up a little bit. This team is one of my first teams, actually my second generation of teams. As you can see, 92 eggs. It's going to be a good Christmas because every time I do a pet summoning egg to a point, I'm going to get a bonus for the winterfest, and it's a huge thing. Another thing I like to do, as I mentioned, playing side by side, is when I do the tower, I just keep them side by side, and it makes, I'm doing the same thing, right? I'm clicking arrows, I'm clicking the battle, click the rectangle, 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 click the arrow, click the rectangle. I do this all the way to level 25, right? And meanwhile, the other one's just sitting there because there's no waiting required. When I was first playing this method, I was playing on a very limited laptop, a couple $100 from Best Buy. No gaming, a very basic standardized laptop. Running 2 games at a time was the only way I could deal with the lag required for the animation. And that's what started this technique. When I later got a desktop machine, a personal computer, it's a tower, but it was cheap. A lot less delay. Another little tip, especially for streamers, if you hit the tilde key, which is the little wiggly key right next to the number 1 key, you'll see down here in the bottom, frames per second, memory usage, draws, and version number here. This really makes a difference when it comes to live streaming because you can see how many frames the game is playing. Then you can see if there's any drop frames on your stream, which is drop frame 0%. So another benefit we found, well, not benefit, it's just a reality, is that when live streaming to YouTube, selecting a stream key that is set at 720 makes a huge difference in the ability to stream without any issues. For the longest, I kept thinking I could do it at 1080 and no video card, just the standard whatever's on the computer. Enough to power 3 monitors, right? 2 HDMI and 1 standard monitor. but that taxes the output of that ability. Back to the grind, as you can see here, I'm finally to the point where they go to battle. I'll attack, I'll go to battle. I'll hit auto. I shouldn't have to, but I'm gonna. And then I'll go over here and I'll start skipping all of these. And as soon as this happens, I'll deal with about 10 minutes, as I mentioned, of flipping back and forth, clicking rectangles, green boxes, little red dots. That's the game of Hero Wars. And then occasionally when I get the chance, as you see here, I'll click on the other side, get it started doing something. While it's loading, go over here and skip, go back to auto, more rectangles, more rectangles, more rectangles, more rectangles, little green boxes, little red dots, green arrow, blue stars, blue diamonds, yellow stars, green clovers. Green arrow, green box, green box, green box. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their quarantine. We're in, gosh, it's almost like the permanent vacation from life. A year ago, I was working as a stagehand downtown Denver, mostly convention center and concerts, arenas. But thanks to COVID, all of that work is no mas. And the U.S. government, my Lord, decided to give $600, which is half the check they gave $1,200 10 months ago. And every other civilized country in the planet, I mean, the worst, I could see most were a percentage of the salaries, the normal salaries of that employee. But I think it was Australia and Canada, $1,000 and $2,000 a month, or pounds, or whatever their currency is, respectively. We got $1,800 in a year, and it's so funny to watch people who supported and elected the current regime that is being hopefully ousted peacefully with the election results triple tested. As you can see, these are moving really fast, and I have not had the opportunity to, once I get to working both sides, what normally happens is at the end like that, I take off the auto. What I found is when your team is really high level and the line, your main tower line or attack line, whatever you want to call it, your first line is so strong, they will kill the opponent before Oliver gets the chance to re-heal them. You can see all of these guys have lost some health, and without Thea or Maya, there's no direct boost to their health. And I like Nebula as a healer, as a hero, and a member of a line. Now on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to click him, and then I'm going to let it sit and hope to come back and get Oliver. And just let them trudge through it in hopes that they'll get their energy. She's getting hurt. That's unusual, but this is another important point of having player versus player line, is swapping the twin team. Those guys, the twins. And that bass is really thumping, isn't it? Green rectangles, green rectangles, green rectangles. Take the auto off, hope their energy recharges. Galahad's probably one of the best examples. Nebula probably even better. In heroes that tend to waste their auto at the end of a round, which is why I play most of the time semi-auto. Now, watch this. As soon as Lucas hits the floor, none of my heroes have concern. And I want to get them healed up. And at that point, they'll probably not even have to do any attacks. One click from any of these heroes and those guys are all dead. But as you can see, my green is leveling up, my energy is leveling up. I can go ahead and burn Oliver for Helios's last gasps. There got a little bit bonus from him. But at this point, that hero line is solid. Skip, 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 green arrow. Now at this point, I'm going to do a little something different. I'm going to dump all of these out because they're strong. I'm going to get the ones that need healing. I'm going to put my healers in there. Put those two behind a good sponge. And I rarely use auto right away, but with Thea, it's going to work fastest. And it keeps all of the other heroes, hopefully, from dying. Mostly, we're worried about King Mao. And hopefully, as soon as Oliver gets going, King Mao receives a lot of damage because she's a warrior in the front. So as soon as Oliver kicks in, her healing should really start to boost up every time she gets attacked. Notice the green plus signs. I've yet to define it, but I'm concerned that Astaroth, when he puts up that shield, might reduce the healing that is received from Oliver. But again, I'm not 100% sure. And let's knock them on their butt. Let's protect our team. And let's wait for Oliver to recharge. Yeah, she's going to give it her healing boost. I'm glad I got over her because it's not worthy. And the main goal is to get your team to where you are. And again, I don't care about Astaroth. I do care about her. So I retreat and go back. Remove and put him in there. He's pretty good. Put her in there. Let it fly. Martha's gonna go speed everybody up. Galahad will go kill most of those people. King Mao goes, kills the rest of the people. Thea heals, turn off auto, and allow the healing to begin. Didn't happen. Yeah, perfect example of a team that's a little too strong for it being good. But the beauty of it is, unlike a lot of players that focus on leveling up all of their main attack line, when you're a free-to-play player and you're player versus enemy, you realize your heroes are like a toolbox. Your line is the tools you're using at the time. You get 5 heroes, 1 pet, and the option for pet patronage to make a modification or an impact on that battle. I'm slacking on this side, obviously. So just a reminder, if you're just tuning in, this is Free2Play Tuesday with Clem Hawkins. Hero Wars How-To, Hero Wars Help and Hints pages and groups respectively on the Facebook, as well as the Hero Wars F2PHQ group. Those have all become private groups. Membership required. Agree to the rules. Agree to answer the questions. Auto admittance. I spend so much time playing the game. I have very little time to deal with. And I made a mistake there, but they're pretty strong. Oh, it was the final battle. I probably could have just left it on auto. And I always click there for some reason because I'm stupid. I'm habitual. Probably better. I get into habits, you know. You click, you go. You click, you go. You click 50, 75, 150 little green boxes and green arrows. Follow the red dot, right? And as I mentioned, I did the tower. I go to the thing. Those are completed. I do this one. I finish my dailies on this team. I go here to make sure that I leveled up my artifact, because I often forget that. And I generally just pick whoever's cheapest to level up once and don't pay much attention to it otherwise. Oops, I forgot to level up. Oh, I did level up. So those are done. This one can be done. Highly advised, do this every day, but spend one of these, because you get 3 for spending 1, so you just earn 2. May not make a big deal, but in 10 days, that's one of those. You know what I mean? It's times 10 that. This game is all about making you show up daily. There's always plenty to grind through. Get whatever reward. I think I've already gotten those, and it just didn't refresh the red dot. Back to this side. Click more green boxes. Man, Shanti Sena's tearing it up with the kick drum there, huh? Clickety click. Probably reduce a little bit of that bleed through. And it's true, when I started this, I preempted it with playing some Scratch Bastard, and I'm sure that it's downloaded by now. So let's go ahead and pull this up into there. Let's close that. Let's close that. And let's play this.
Remember that song I used to sing? That song I told you back in the club? You kids used to laugh at that song.
Now the beauty of free-to-play, it took me a while to realize it, but oops, I did that wrong, incorrectly. I have to click a green arrow. And I have to click some green boxes. Here you can see again, team blew its wad at the end. No energy, not a whole lot of health. Let it get through the first 10 seconds while I tidy up any of this other nonsense. And take it off auto. Wait for Oliver. Get him going. She's not going to catch up. Let that run through. Back here, did we purchase? We purchased. We got gold. We got stuff. And that was a pretty quick roundabout. We are at 49 minutes. I'm not going to overstress or overwear my welcome. I'm going to get this posted up. Hopefully take a couple of minutes here to review as we finish up the tower on the other team. Again, a team is a collection of heroes. A line is the heroes you are using at the time. This is a defending line. These are all defending lines. When you attack, you then set attack lines in which you can pick and choose as you see fit depending upon your opponent. Back to auto. Wasn't supposed to do that, but I got distracted. And here what I'm doing is I'm removing everybody, starting from scratch, and taking a look at their lineup. This guy put all of his top guys in the front line. So this is what you do. Twerp. Twerp, just to add insult to injury. Okay, I won't be that insulting. I'll be that insulting. No, I'll remove her and him. Put these two in there. There. At this point, nothing else is going to matter. I mean, it matters, but it really doesn't matter. Let's do not her and her for that line. Let's do him and all of them for this line. To battle. Come on, Snodgrass, catch up. I might as well let that play out just so you can enjoy the slaughter of the first round. Get those guys on auto. Next battle. Dominate. More intermediate and advanced players being aware of this situation. Everyone that I see successful puts your first line as number 2 line. Your second and third lines as your number 1 and number 3 lines. Because it only takes 2 battles to win, so you want your first line in the first 2 positions for sure. But if you put it first, they can simply skip it and go to the second and the third. If you put your second line first, your first line second, then your third counter line third, at that point you're less likely to be tricked through the system. And having awareness of the opponent's defenders, 0 question of the victory. Auto, it's on auto. When it's on auto, ladies and gentlemen, that is play versus enemy. Because the computer is running the show. And the defender gets no choice in the matter. So when you set those, and let's look at our log. Victory! We jumped a little bit of a level, but really don't care. All I care about is that these positions are filled. That needs to change. Because it's a horrible lineup. And we'll put our first line in the first position. We'll put our second line in the first position. And we will put our third line of counters and other heroes. Oops. Where are we at? Third line. Truly no thought or concern on the matter other than a reasonable distribution. You can see 40,000 versus 125,000 versus 75,000. If concerned with that, you could simply swap out one of these with, let's see, let's do him. And then put him there, and then put her there. And 48 versus 118 versus 75. Not a bad reality, because anyone that just tries to auto through this will probably find a stumbling block. Now, another aspect that is advised to advanced players, unless concerned with ranking, which as you can see, I am not. I normally keep my arena defense as 1 twerp, and I'll show you and I'll tell you why. Remove all these guys, the pet really doesn't matter. Put a twerp, just put those 2 and him so everyone knows I don't give a crap about that stupidness. And who else is supposed to be in there? Let's put him there. Not that it matters, but by doing this, my power is lower people will knock me down, my ranking will reduce, and then I'll climb back up. But as you've seen before, if you're aware, don't ever spend 50 emeralds for this. Just close it, go to arena, it reopens. Close it, go to arena, it reloads. Close it, open arena. The idea is that you're looking for a twerp that somebody like me, an advanced player in the upper 100 levels often, has just got a single twerp. Now I can just hit the button. Point is, as soon as you find one that's just a little twerp, you can just let it sit there, open, go to the other screen while you wait for the clock to tick down. Now here you can see I'm going through all of these, having a very hard time finding a twerp. That's not a twerp, but let's see if we can knock him the fuck out. Shall we? We want to do something let's just do that because it's the fastest we can get. Not expecting to win because those guys usually are good. Not going to watch it. Ooh, I won, so let's watch it. I like when I can beat cocky players. They think that this will work, but I get it. It's fun. I wouldn't have normally, but thanks to the live stream. Speaking of which, we're at 57 minutes on the dot. We're going to get this slideshow package happening. We are Hero Wars How To, your free-to-play headquarters for Hero Wars, all things free-to-play, strategies, tactics, techniques, team building, beginning, intermediate, and advanced levels. For new viewers, beginning covers 0 to 40 level teams. 40 to 80 level teams fit in the intermediate, which is the predominant aspect of our information, and advanced from level 80 to 130. Our goal is level 100, possibly the lowest level possible. We're trying to beat the game, the campaign, with the lowest level team possible. So let me get this thing out of there just so it looks better. Again, please be sure to like and subscribe. My ego requires nothing. However, the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more you comment, the more new players, the easier it will be for them to find when searching. Because YouTube, Google, all these search engines base their results upon numbers of hits and numbers of links, metadata, etc. So the more you can like and subscribe, the more it helps other players who have yet to find this information not only find the information, but find new ways to play the game in a free-to-play way. This is our first conclusion of Free-to-Play Tuesday. Thanks for checking us out. We are super excited for this free-to-play event coming up, Winterfest. There's only 3 or 4 a year that we can really get pumped about, because everything that we do on a daily basis becomes something worth a bonus and a prize. So, let's get this thing streamed up. Let's get it dialed in. And let's get back to the Dominion. Be safe out there, y'all. I'm Clem Hawkins. Hero Wars How To. Free-to-play headquarters. Signing off. We'll see y'all. Be safe in the Dominion. Peace.